Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn and welcome to the channel. We have some more reaction content for you, and today we are checking out everything surrounding Star Ocean: The Divine Force. In a way, you could even almost call this an analysis because we got a lot of footage to go over and we're going to be talking about a lot of things involving this game. And we're going to start all the way from the beginning when Star Ocean: The Divine Force was first debuted, announced, revealed at the State of Play for PlayStation back in October of 2021. And in the time since then, they have actually put out a lot of footage for the Divine Force. We've been seeing character trailers and mission trailers and gameplay trailers and stuff. Like, while it's not necessarily, in my mind, one of the biggest, like, franchise reveals releases that we could have, they've been putting out a lot of content for it, which, like, is cool, right? It's cool because they're wanting, I think they're wanting to see a reemergence and a revival of the Star Ocean franchise, because Star Ocean for the longest time has just kind of been sitting in the past. And I think a lot of us were very surprised to see Star Ocean as a modern release, and not just like, oh, we cleaned up the old games and they're available on Steam. It's actually a new game, kind of like Valkyrie Elysium, bringing Valkyrie Profile back into the modern age and the modern day. We're like, man, okay, not only are you not just selling us our childhood, you're actually wanting to make this something that we care about today and make new people care about it today. And let's just start getting into this. So, like, I have seen this trailer before. This is the debut trailer, but for the sake of the completion of this video and its content, I did want to include it here. So, I remember when this was first showed off, we were all kind of trying to guess at what it was, right?
Scanning craft. Pan-Galactic Federation battleship, the Astoria. Weapons activity detected. Readying third
Starboard
strike.
Thrusters to full power.
There's no
Watching
time.
this trailer, is this 4K? Yeah, watching this trailer in 4K
All crew members,
is very
get to an
different.
escape.
It's also not being encoded through a garbage live stream bitrate. Remember, people were initially thinking like maybe like Xenosaga, but no, there's no way, because this is a State of Play, but it does look very Xenosaga-esque, right? We're like, whoa, maybe, I don't know. Or Xenoblade, I guess, but you know, that's still locked to Nintendo, which is fine. But it definitely had some serious Xenoblade like vibes to it in terms of the general presentation here.
Are you quite all right?
If it's help you're offering, then it's help I'm taking. Damn near the full Federation fleet's moving in on us.
Wish I could say we're good, but the Fed saw to it we aren't.
The crew of the Aegis needs you. Good luck, Ray.
With me, mommy.
Seek only to devour this world.
I am certain your journey into the stars above will bring hope to the future of this world, Your Highness.
Spare me your self-righteousness.
Sooner
I
or
shall
later
be
fighting
saved
like a
by
poop
mine own
element.
hands.
If humanity should persist as it has, never will it find total freedom from sorrow.
What hope do we hold should they descend upon us now?
What are you trying to say, Eve? You trying to say that these giant zippers plastered onto her breasts don't look very comfortable? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure that is a perfectly comfortable attire.
If you dare
You
turn
just
your
don't
back to
understand
us,
modern
I swear
fashion.
I'll destroy the Federation ship by ship until there's not a damn thing left.
It comes out later this year, which is crazy. It's crazy. There's not enough time. Okay, so this is a release date trailer. I can see in the description that it says October 27th. Crap. Yep, those exact ones. Yeah, I know. I noticed her outfit too, and I was like, why? I mean, I know why, but why? I noticed her outfit earlier on when she was like typing at the terminal, right?
War is much the same here in the stars as it is in our world.
Her clothing looks much more practical.
Well, we came this far. Can't turn back now.
I wish to go forth and protect this kingdom.
As someone who has had a
No.
zipper on skin, it's not
This
comfortable.
entire planet.
Are you sure?
Ray, will you not take me with you?
His clothing looks comfy, but unpractical. It's got the weird part is the weird rings on the arms, right? The rest of it just looked like a tactical shirt essentially, but he's got
They
like these
should be
metal
able to do
rings on
their own.
the
Your
edges
safety,
of his shirt.
as well as Chloe's, could become compromised should we involve ourselves any further.
The Lawrence family comes from a long line of well-known merchants. We always pay our debts.
Yep, you got that right.
We'll make it work.
Blame your own misfortune that embroiled you in this. Now perish!
Duma production model 004213 activating. Confirmed. Life forms in need of protection.
What the heck's this supposed to be?
What is this?
Later. Right now, we've got company. We are the ones who should be
I
utilizing
like the
this power.
historical knight armor
Take
amongst
control of her,
the space
and all
venturers.
this can change. Besides, our ride will be coming soon.
Which means we have to take what we want.
God, you mean we gotta fight them too?
Must we fight?
This will never change until one or the other is no more!
Vergoldian Interstellar has already deployed forces throughout the system to intercept them.
Don't tell me you're seriously planning to strike at the Federation. Why exactly are you here, pray tell? Have you aims at world domination?
It's very beautiful though. The settings are really entrancing. Like absolutely captivating. The different landscapes and stuff, and like the cityscapes. Like visually, the game is beautiful. Definitely seems like near
Is
meets
evacuating
fantasy.
the
Sure,
correct
yeah.
course of action?
That leaves not all well.
Don't worry, Dad. I got this.
But why would you do that?
Perhaps it's best if you enlighten
Like
them
there's some
yourself.
serious quality
Tell
in
them
here
your purpose
when it
and
comes to the
identity.
visual style, even
is
in like the
not our
animation work.
intent to
I will
conquer.
say the main character's
And
run
why should we
animation, his
believe
shoulders look like they're on like
You have
weird
rejected our
static
every
gyros,
guarantee of safety.
but the actual combat
Surely
looks
you know.
really
You
good.
were doing what you thought was right, correct?
Her Highness has chosen to die with dignity.
No!
Regardless of whether
You ever think the angles in anime are a little weird?
they
What do you
wish
mean?
it or not, such a future is now their fate.
Like, so we're gonna roll back to that for just a moment. It's the pause for me,
Chosen to die with
right? It's the
dignity.
pause. If it was just a full pan up, if it was just a full pan up,
Regardless
that would be
of
fine.
whether-
But no, it gets to her fucking boobs. And by the way, I see you, YouTube. Most replayed right here. Right here, it says most replayed. If it was just a normal pan up, like where it just kept the same speed, but no, pauses right here,
Regardless
and then
of whether they
slowly
wish
brings
it
up.
or
It doesn't even get her whole head in the frame. Jesus Christ. Y'all need to calm down. So they might get to it in the many other trailers that we have to watch, but I did want to look a little bit at the combat HUD real quick, because so we can see that there's 4 characters at a time. I'm assuming Midas is almost dead. We got Raymond, Letitia, Midas, and Nina. And I mean, this is just a bunch of visual effects soup right now. But we have 2 actual bars going on. There's nothing else on here, right? Like there's no ability buttons or anything on here. But we have AP and VA, which AP is probably action points. I don't actually know how old Star Ocean games played. I don't. And so I don't know if they were meant to be like turn-based or if they're action-based. I don't know what this game is going to be. It obviously could be different. But we see vatting right here. So that's probably what this bar is. They're controlling Letitia right now, and that bar is what's filling up. And action points AP is probably some sort of like limited or regenerating resource that allows you to use special abilities. But I'll just leave that there for now, and maybe we'll see some more in these other trailers. So I'm actually going to move this one over here, and we have two very short character introduction trailers, which is Raymond and Letitia, which seem to be the two like main characters. Old ones were a lot like Tales of Arise. Okay, so let's just get introduced to these characters, and then we'll get into the mission reports. Even the original
if you thought I said
SNES
some
one.
weird
Okay.
stuff before, brace yourself. I'm from another world, one that's far, far away in the sky. If I start missing you guys, I can come whenever I want. And if you call, I'll come running. To be perfectly honest, my mind is just focused on preparing for what needs to be done tomorrow.
What is your hair, though, my
Piece
dude?
by piece, till there's not a damn thing left!
What kind of captain would I be if I told my crew to start offing themselves? I was just asking if she's ready. And how am I supposed to save her without you, huh? You gotta trust me on this one, okay? Everything will be fine.
So, just a little note, it is amazing the presentation difference that video quality can make. So, like, this last one that we watched is on the official Square Enix YouTube channel. Full 4K, looks great, very appealing. This is also on the Square Enix channel, but it's on 1080p, and man, does it make the game look so much worse. And I don't understand why. Okay, and this is going to be Letitia.
To that end, Ray, I have a proposition for you.
But
Assist us
1080p
in
on
our
YouTube is
journey,
not
and
1080p.
we shall
Compressed
assist
1080p
you
is
in
bad
yours.
on YouTube. I say that as
This
I
will be the
upload
first
1080p
step of
videos.
many.
I'm
Fret
doing my
not,
best.
For I would be honored if you joined us. The more allies I have in this endeavor, the better. Brave soldiers of Osirius! With me! That is our planet? Our world? Now I am here for no other purpose than to see my dearest friend well at last. After we met, I began to think
The
that
pacing of
everything
these
will
trailers
be
and general
fine, that
presentation is
things will
also
work
very
out.
different. At least these character trailers. Also, I'm power to you, Square Enix, for not using the massive open zipped booby lady as the second main character. Instead, you have the very modest, heavily armored, cutesy character. Congratulations, good job. Such a doll face. Yeah, I mean that's fine though. All right, so now this is the mission report number 1, main characters in combat. Oh, yeah. That sounds like what I want to hear. Tell me how this fucking combat
It is
works,
that
bro.
hunger, that bottomless greed, that drives them. And they will not rest
Really wish
until
this
they
had
have claimed
4K.
every last star in the sky.
But this actually still looks better than that last one. Those character trailers felt really poor in terms of the actual visual quality.
We've obtained new intel on the latest adventure in the Star Ocean Saga.
I'm ready.
In the far reaches of space, a lone merchant vessel on a standard transport mission is abruptly
My
gunned
coffee is
down by
cold.
the
Good
Astoria,
thing it's empty now.
a pan-galactic Federation battleship with a member of the esteemed Canny family on board. The unfortunate vessel is the Aegis, captained by Raymond Lawrence.
I'm sure we'll be fine. Come on now.
Separated from his trusted crew, Raymond's escape pod crash lands on a primitive and unfamiliar planet. There, he meets a young...
Is that why she's dressed in armor? Because it's a primitive planet? What did the cup say on the bottom? Oh, look human, it's the brand. Is that why she's dressed in armor and has swords? Because they're primitive? They don't have, like, space travel?
lady with a mission. She's Letitia Osirius.
I hope to have you all at my side in the fight to come.
With her kingdom on the brink of disaster, Letitia takes it upon herself to save her people and homeland. Mid-journey, she witnesses an odd shooting star plummet into the nearby woods. Upon drawing closer, she encounters Raymond. The Divine Force offers 2 heroes to choose from. Play as Raymond, a hothead from a futuristic planet searching for his lost crew. Or as Letitia, whose kingdom on an underdeveloped planet faces ruin at the hands of a terrible threat. The events of the story will unfold from a unique perspective, depending on whom you choose.
Interesting. That's cool.
Joining you on your trek across the stars is a motley crew.
I was merely performing my duty as a knight.
I intend to return the favor.
So, what do you say? Can someone like little ol' me join you?
I reserve the right to leave whensoever I wish.
Secure the perimeter. Secure the perimeter.
Your journey
head is
begins
not the only thing
on
that's
the
hot.
underdeveloped planet of Aster 4. The lands surrounding the radiant royal city of Ascendros offer beautiful vistas, treacherous caverns, and a wide array of terrain to explore. Engage in combat fluidly when encountering
Curious
enemies.
how far
out in
each
the
of their
open.
story goes, because they collide with one another, right?
Battles are carried out in parties of 4. You can switch between and control party members on the fly to
Thank you.
utilize each ally's unique skill set.
And it's a hot swap. I love that.
Enemies up there.
Actions are carried out by using AP in battle.
Okay.
Performing certain actions in combat will increase your max AP temporarily, allowing you to execute even more powerful skills.
Feels very similar to Tales of Berseria in that manner. How long you streaming for, Big Daddy? As long as this takes.
Feel the heat of battle via real-time visceral combat. Or pause the action with stop mode.
Okay, so pulling from like Final Fantasy
In
VII
stop
Remake
mode,
in that.
the battle comes to a standstill, granting you time to switch targets, command your allies, and strategize like a leader.
Neat.
Assign any of your skills to each of the action buttons. Utilize chain combos to link actions together and add an edge to your combat prowess. This concludes our report on all currently accrued intel.
This
However,
report anyway,
have
we
more
got
to
another
share than
one.
just the basics of battle. Prime yourself to fight and explore your way through an engrossing dynamic world in the latest entry in the Star Ocean Saga. We will cover even more exciting features in our next report on the Divine Force.
Looks like some additional combat stuff.
You'll
as
hear
well
from
like
us as more intel comes in.
Traversal and stuff
Over
like
and
that. Okay, let's go ahead and jump straight into the next one. So this is Duma and Vanguard Assault.
Do my eyes deceive me? Or is that a Duma with you?
We're after
Context?
the cargo they have stored there. I want it in one piece.
Duma!
What are you?
Duma production model 004213 activating.
We've obtained new intel on the latest adventure in the Star Ocean Saga. In the far reaches of space, after its destruction by a pan-galactic Federation battleship, the Aegis jettisons an escape pod carrying Duma as its cargo. Duma is an unusual creation imbued with superior intelligence and self-cognizance. Though it appears to be a robotic machine, it refers to itself as a life form. Duma joins Raymond and company on their journey, despite its less than clear intentions. Duma imparts extraordinary abilities to each member of the travel party.
We call it Duma. It's highly dangerous.
It's plain to see there's no semiomantic connection between you and your orb. And yet still, it heeds your command.
The bonds forged with the mysterious Duma will eventually find Raymond and Leticia caught in a destiny of cosmic proportions.
This world will never know peace. As long as that thing exists.
A defining feature of Duma's hardware is access to VA, or Vanguard Assault, which allows for a wide range of abilities and utility. For instance, the ability to take flight. Using Duma, players can glide quickly through the air with full range of motion, both out in the wilds or while in town. It can even be worked into combos.
Nobody bats an eye, all right.
In addition, the world around you holds a veritable treasure trove of hidden items.
Wonder what limitations there are
Chief
to
among
how
these
far
are
you can
gems.
go.
Gems are mysterious crystals that house the power to boost Duma's abilities. Finding and collecting these gems will be a great help on your journey. Duma also has the ability to scan for treasure chests and interactable objects while out in the world. Combing an area for rare items can be a daunting task.
Oh,
But
okay.
Duma's field scan makes hunting down riches a snap. During
Gotta have those
combat,
winter
Duma
senses.
can be used to employ a diverse range of powerful attacks. First, there's VA attacks. Hold down the applicable button to levitate high in the air, then release it to come crashing down on your enemies at high speed. Use this ability to push enemies back or inflict heavy damage.
Okay, and that tells us what the VA is.
The VA actions may manifest in different
Vanguard
ways,
Assault, so that's what
depending
that
on the
bar
character
is.
using them.
And
Discover
then it has
each
to charge
character's
back up
unique
after you use
abilities
it.
and use them to your advantage in battle. Once an enemy has its sights on you, perform a sudden course change while launching a VA attack and tear out of their range of vision to blindside them.
So it's just another
While in this
resource.
state, the enemy will lose sight of the player and become incapacitated for a short time, during which they'll take significantly more damage. You'll find this can prove most lethal to your foes. Multiple foes can be blindsided at once. When used effectively, it can lay waste to entire hordes of enemies in
Seems like
one fell
attacking stuff
swoop.
cards. Yeah.
Blindsides
Although
are a
I'm
key
not
strategy to felling
really sure
formidable
how you
foes.
get action points back. If I had to guess, action points back recharge over time rather than based on attacks. Okay,
The
yeah, we
aggression
just saw it.
radar can
when
be
they
used
stopped
to better
attacking and started
execute
running around, their
blindsides.
action points regen very, very quickly.
This helpful radar displays directional information on incoming enemy attacks while the player stands still during combat. In other words, it can assist in planning
This
out which
combat
targets
looks
to
fun as
blindside.
hell.
Seemingly impenetrable enemies with wide fields of vision can also be blindsided if certain conditions are met during combat.
Like this
Consider
combat
these
looks like
options when planning your
intense,
battle strategies.
fast, chunky, responsive. It looks like even if it doesn't have a whole lot of like genuine
VA
depth
can
in it,
also be
it's just gonna
utilized
feel
when
good
entering
to
battle.
play it.
If the battle is instigated by attacking the enemy while they are unaware of the player's presence, a surprise attack and accompanying bonus will occur. This bonus ensures the enemy hit by the attack as well as all nearby enemies are blindsided. Greater rewards will be earned for any enemies defeated before the blindside effect wears off.
Like if a game could just make you feel like an absolute
This
badass while
concludes
you're
our
playing
report
it.
on all currently accrued intel. However, this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Duma's capabilities. Utilizing Duma, players can expect to bring even more versatility to their prowess in combat.
Limit
It
break
also
slash
appears that
special
some
attacks.
seek to obtain Duma's unique powers for themselves.
We are the ones who should be utilizing the powers of that Duma.
Favorite things as far as the seamless battles on the field rather than the separate
In our
zones.
next
It's
report,
really rare
we
even
aim
in
to
action
shed more
RPGs.
light
You're
on
right,
these
it looks
powers and
really
the shady
good.
characters that chase after them.
Like, watching this has taken my interest from this from like a 7 to like a 9 to a 10. This looks really
You'll
good.
hear from us again as more intel comes in. Over and out.
I don't know, they didn't really give us a whole lot of details on the story itself, but the general gameplay loop looks solid. Like, it looks really solid. And that's good, because like one of the things is that when it comes to games, some things are able to do heavier load lifting than other things, and one of the things that can lift a lot when it comes to a game is its gameplay, because like there can be a game that has one of the best stories ever written, but if it is atrocious to play, it is very, very difficult to actually get to experience that story. And that's kind of what we're seeing here with not what we're seeing here, but that is not what is happening with Star Ocean. But one thing that can be said, if a game has incredible gameplay, that can make up for really bad story, right? You're like, man, the story of this game was trash, but it was so fun to play that I didn't even care, right? That doesn't normally work in reverse. There's a couple other things in there in terms of visuals and audio design. If a game has really flat audio design, it can take away from it, but again, if the game is still really fun to play, it can make up for that. If the visuals suck, that's actually normally harder to get over, because unless it's really fun despite its visuals, which there are some games, like bad visuals, it depends on what you consider bad visuals, because if it's like a retro style where it's using like pixel art or something like that, that is not necessarily the same as something just having bad visuals. You just might not like them. But again, if it plays really well and is really fun to play, that can lift a game out of the depths. A game that is really fun to play that has no story at all is Dead Cells. Some people don't like the way that Dead Cells looks because it uses a 2D side-scrolling, platforming, pixel art style look. And so you got two things that for some people are knockdowns, but I can tell you Dead Cells is fun as hell from my perspective. And so that can make up for both of those things not being great. There's a game that we played relatively recently that just didn't have audio, and it was weird. It was such a quiet game. It was the most muted music I'd ever heard. But again, if the game is fun, it can make up for all of that. And the game looks fun. It looks really, really good. There was a reason I like Lacrimosa. Yeah, they could have done a much better job hyping the story. The gameplay looks fantastic, though. I bet they're not hyping up the story too much. One, because depending on how significant the two stories are, we know that Raymond and, Letitia? Was that her actual name? Letitia, okay. Depending on how and when their stories link up, we don't know how significant their two sides are. And it's weird because they pitched it as like Raymond is the sci-fi story and Letitia is the fantasy story, but those stories cross. But how soon do they cross, right? How soon do the two stories become one? And when they do become one, how do those playthroughs differ? Because like we played a game recently called Scarlet Nexus that had dual protagonists, and you pick which one you're going to play as at the beginning, and that drastically that influences the side of the story that you see going through it. But I can say that largely it didn't make a very significant difference based on which side you picked, because they still they join forces halfway through the game, and from that point forward, they are largely following the same path. And before that, they are actually on opposite sides. They're against one another. But regardless of that, it didn't feel like I got a whole lot more when we looked into playing from the other person's perspective. And I'm curious how that works here. Because like Scott Skipper says, when do they meet up? Because it kind of felt like they meet up super early. Because, you know, his plane gets destroyed and then he's trying to figure out where his crew is, which definitely feels like the start of a story, right? And if they meet up super early, how then is their different paths different? What is the variance between them? And one possibility is they don't have the same ending, right? It could be that if you play as Letitia, Raymond joins Letitia's story and we see what happens through the end of Letitia's story. And vice versa, Letitia joins Raymond's stories and we see Raymond go and stop the Federation or the Empire, whatever they were called, right? But I don't know, and I can't tell. It's obviously all connected in some form around Duma, the super intelligent hyper AI thing. But if they have the same ending, it then drastically draws into question the genuine value of the dual protagonist perspectives in terms of what one gives you over the other one. I'll definitely be interested in whether it's worth another playthrough for the main character or whether it ends up just being a watch the other stuff on YouTube type thing. I'm honestly leaning towards it's watch the other stuff on YouTube type thing, just guessing out of personal perspective and experience, because I bet their journey ends the same way. And unless they get split up, I don't imagine that you will see a lot of variance after they have teamed up. But I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. I don't know, and we won't know until the game comes out in October. But like I said earlier, this series of trailers definitely took my interest in this from probably a moderate 6 to a strong 9, strictly just because the game looks fun as hell to play. I like the exploration, I like the discovery, I like the ability to go and do things to be able to build my characters up, and the combat looks really, really good. My nose hurts all of a sudden, and I apologize for that. Oh, my allergies are just punching me right now, hammering my sinuses. Oh my God, Lord help me. Feels like somebody just stabbed my nose with an ice pick. That is atrocious. Oh man. Depending if it is a new game, I'd most likely do that for the story I missed up to when they meet up. Well, and that also comes into the question of how soon did they meet up, because in that, it definitely felt like they meet up really early. So unless something pulls them apart, oh my God, I'm in so much pain. Unless something pulls them apart, I'm just really curious what the how drastic their two storylines could be. But I guess we'll find out soon. To you watching right now, watching me cry and in pain as my nose feels like it's about to just like explode out of my face. What did you think about all those trailers? I'd love to hear from you. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. What sits well with you, what does not? I'm obviously super hyped about the gameplay, but that doesn't mean you are. And if you're not, why are you not? Where are you sitting on the story, the general approach? What do you feel like in terms of what we're seeing here? And especially, I would ask how you feel about the comparisons that people are making between the Divine Force and Xenoblade, because there's still a lot of comparisons between the two. Even as we mentioned, the seamless battles, Xenoblade has done that the entire time, and so we see it here too. This game obviously is not being developed exclusively for the Switch. We see a lot more going on. Is this game even coming to the Switch? I don't think it is. That would allow it to exist on stronger hardware. Let me know. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. If you want to keep the conversation elsewhere, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. And speaking of Discord, we actually have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can check out together live on stream, because we do stream 4 days a week: Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. And if you do watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy.